Hey man, if you can do that, go ahead, man.
Now I have to, at first I have to explain my history, my pedigree, but that's important to know why Patoro exists. I was for 32 years ago in Switzerland a professional ice hockey player, and for a fight I can't play one season in Switzerland. Then my friends of mine, hey, what I'm doing now? He told me, like, hey, go to Mexico.
What he's trying to say is he's a troublemaker.
No. That's not true. And then I was going to Mexico. You don't believe me, but there you can play ice hockey. 7 teams, 3 ice files, and we had a lot of fun. After 2 years, I met my first wife there. We was going back to Switzerland, and I studied in Switzerland economy. But my great thing was in Switzerland we have to speak different languages. I speak 5 languages: Spanish, German, Swiss German, French, English, and Italian. No 6, but Italian not really well. But my wife is from Italy. Then I was coming back to Switzerland, and I was looking for a job, and I sent a CV to Dr. Schneider. And this time, this was 28 years ago, Davidoff was not a famous label in America or around the world. And Dr. Schneider passed this CV to the HR manager. The funny thing was, this guy was also ice hockey player. We talked half hour about ice hockey, and I told, sir, I'm looking for a job. He said, oh, we have not a job for you. But I saw that in the investigation, ice hockey, you're really aggressive, and I think guys like you, we can need it. Let's have a meeting with Dr. Schneider. We had this meeting with Dr. Schneider. He told me the same thing. Oh, you're a nice guy, but we don't have a job. But let's look. And then he presented me the channel director of Davidoff, Raymond Scheurer. And after this meeting, they told me, listen, we will create for you a job. But you have to do in the beginning everything. But that was for me absolutely great. I was the first assistant of the channel director of Davidoff. For this reason, I can't go, that's not possible, to Geneva. I was working with Zino Davidoff 1 week in his store. And I made a changement. I was also there from Cuba to La República Dominicana. The reason was why we discovered Henke Kellner was our brand, as it was another brand, we called Griffin's. And Griffin's was in this time a really famous disco in Geneva. And the owner was Bernard Grobel. But Grobel, he likes to always copying Davidoff, but Davidoff was #1. You know, Geneva was really an international place, and Mr. Davidoff was an absolutely great person. Then was my first, after this assistant of the channel director, of course, I had a beautiful life for 3 years. Always 2 months in the DR, you know, they make a reception with people. Nice. You know, it's really beautiful. There I learned to play golf and every stuff. Then told me after 3 years, Patrick, now finished. You know, it's to be an assistant, now you have to go in a line position. And they bought the Griffin's label from Bernard Grobel. And I was the first brand manager of Griffin's. You know the Griffin cigars?
Yes.
I was the godfather of Griffin cigars. I was the first brand manager. I introduced that in Switzerland, then in other countries, and now we have that also in the States. After 7 years, we bought the label Avo. You know Avo cigars? Yeah, and I was the first brand manager in Switzerland for Avo cigars. After 13 years, great years with Davidoff, I was 36, we received a new channel director, Dr. Chayachino, and the philosophy changed totally. Dr. Schneider was not more channel director, he was president on the board, and I was unhappy. You know, was in this time, what's meaning of life? I said, listen, money makes you not happy, success, yes, but this corporate philosophy is not more my philosophy. I quit the job. It was absolutely horrible. I was the first person in the high management, had only the board in front of mine, and I quit the job. I had to go to Dr. Schneider and so I had Mr. Martin, what's going on? Why you quit off the job? And so listen, I like to go my own way. All the people told me, Patrick, you are nuts. But the thing is, I know the cigar market really, really well. And I had the possibility to buy shares by the family, by Augusto Reyes, and I'm a partner of Augusto Reyes. And Augusto Reyes, he is the 6th generation cultivating tobacco. You look. And his brother Leo and Emilio, they're also in the tobacco business, and they are great farmers. And the grandfather of them, he brought from the Cuba original seeds to the DR, and they are cultivating them. And they are absolutely great tobacco cultivators. I told them, listen, let's do something together. But my philosophy is quality, quality, quality. I made in the introduction 2001 in Switzerland with a big success, but all the people told me, Patrick, no chance. When double price of a Cuban cigar, 20% higher than a Davidoff cigar, but the retailer, the most important is the smoker. They have the feeling, great cigar, we'll smoke less, but we go with quality. What's happened after 12 years, I received a phone call from Dr. Richard. Dr. Richard is the son-in-law from Dr. Snyder, and he was my chief while he was on the board by Davidoff. But they sold for 7 years ago all the shares by Davidoff. By the these three sisters, they control the company with the shares. And I got some problem also with the corporate philosophy, with the CEO and everything. And they received a little bit money for that. They going out, and his son, the funny thing was, Pablo Richard, was the youngest doctor in Switzerland with 25 years. Then he was going to Brazil, he made plastic surgery.
He was 25 years old.
25 years old, yeah.
Like literally. This is incredibly impressive.
And normally with 27, 28, you finish the study. He made it to 25. And he was coming back to Switzerland, and he told his father, as his mother and father, listen, I'm unhappy with my job. I like to go back to the business of my grandfather. He said, we sold the shares, what we are doing. But he said, but I know a guy, and he makes an absolutely great job. Let's call Patrick Martin. They called me, and I said, listen, I don't need money, I don't need a partner, but I'm open. Let's talk together. We had a great conversation, great meeting, and I told Pablo, and I saw really the soul of his grandfather in his heart. Absolutely patient with love with the tobacco. But I told him, if you like to be my partner, you have to go to the DR for 1 year, getting up at 6 o'clock in the morning, 7 o'clock in the tobacco field. You have to eat the same food like our workers, and you have to use the same bathrooms like our worker. And every day, one lesson of Spanish, and you have to come back, and you have to know more about tobacco and more Spanish than me. I was thinking that will be a deal breaker. He never will do that. He had done that. I was absolutely surprised. But what was then? His great idea was, let's go to the States. And I said, well, oh. You will do that, not me. I'm too old for that. I love Europe. But he forgot something, that he cannot stay in more than 180 days in the States for tax reasons. We have a great distributor. The funny thing is, with Christian Ayaroa, you know the story about Christian. He sold his label to Davidoff and every stuff. And with him we have an absolutely great distributor. By these products, they are coming from Nicaragua, Honduras, and Patoro is a contracted label. We are looking not for retailers, we are looking for partners and ambassadors, while we have only quality goals.
This is what he's doing basically is he wants to take only about 100 accounts in the U.S. And so this, of course, and this is a reflection on you guys as well as the staff and Paul, the owner here. This has been recognized as a finer cigar store. And they were able to meet them, and this was certainly a place that they thought the cigar absolutely should be. Because you're a very educated clientele, you've got great staff here, so this is certainly one of the finer establishments. So that's the vision that he's talking about. He's not looking just to put it, in every single tobacco store. He wants it somewhere where it's going to be appreciated, it's going to be valued, and this was certainly one of those. So it's really a compliment to the store here, basically.
No, that's the reason why we are here. And which one is the best cigar in the world? This one which you like. Which one is the best kitchen in the world? Much more important. That's the kitchen of your mother. Your mother cooks with love for you. What's happened with cigar? It's the same thing. I can't say that my cigar is the best cigar in the world. What I can't say, we do everything from our heart, with our passion, that we make the best quality product. Also, like that, we are treating the worker. Like that, we are looking for every step that are controlled. And the funny thing is, Switzerland, your Swiss people, have a big tradition in quality production. Yeah. Why we are the hugest coffee producer with Nespresso, coffee producer, watch maker. That's the philosophy of us. The end of the thing is, of course, you, the good cigar smoker, he smokes this day this one, other day did that one, but he has his preferred thing. And what we are using, that's also important, is the original Cuban seeds with Leo Reyes. He has the plantation in Navarrete. The wrapper, we are still here in the States, we have the wrapper from Ecuador, and here the orange one, we have that from Brazil, and that's a hybrid between a Cuban and a Brazilian seed. And this seed calls Cubra, C-U-B-R-A, the Cubra, it's a hybrid. The orange line in Europe is different, like the red one. The red one in Europe, we are using another wrapper. In Europe, we are never talking about full body, medium body, or less body. We are talking always about flavors. It's a little bit different. To make a strong cigar, that's mostly if you think, how longer something, how older something is, how smooth it is. It's like wine. The first time I could eat aged beef was in Scottsdale. I was getting nuts, but it costs money. And that means always quality has a certain price. For this reason I say always, guys, drink less, but the best. Eat less, but the best. And smoke less, but only Patoro. No, that's a joke. And you see it, what we are doing. If you have to give every cigar, doesn't matter who makes a cigar, give a cigar a chance. If you don't like a cigar, I have once per month, I have a depression, I smoke a cigar of mine, and it's not a blend of mine. What's happened? He used the cigar roller, or the roller in, a half quarter or more or less of a tobacco leaf. That means below the guano. That's like you make a soup a la minute, and you put the pepper and salt inside, and that changes totally the taste. That means if you don't like the cigar, smoke the second one, and after the third one, you know if you love the blend or not. Thanks for listening, and if somebody has a question about tobacco, about production, I'm here. Thank you.
Could you please describe the blends that are available to the U.S. market?
Absolutely.
Please.
Absolutely.
Yeah, this is not a total Dominican blend, right?
No, sir. Yes. The blend is 100% from our manufacturer.
Okay.
The blend. The wrapper not. The wrapper is a Cubra wrapper. And we began in the States with the Serie P. And the Serie P has a little bit younger tobacco. Younger tobacco has a little bit more special tastes. And the funny thing is, I take the cigar. We are using Piloto Cubano, Rojo, and Sandwichete, Sandwichete for this blend. And the wrapper, how I explained you, it's the hybrid between the Cuban and Brazilian seed, which we call it Cubra. And the red one, which is our main line in Switzerland. In Switzerland we're using another wrapper. In Switzerland we have an old Connecticut wrapper from Ecuador. And here we are using a Havana wrapper from Ecuador. But the blend is coming from our manufacturing. What's really special is we are using only Seco Ligero leaves. As the tobacco blend has 5 steps, Volado, Seco Ligero, Maduro, Corona. We are using only the middle of the middle. And the secret, but it's an open secret, we are using a 7-year-old Antuyo tobacco inside. And Antuyo tobacco is like the pepper in the soup. That's like in the wine. I make my own wine also from the Tuscany. The Tuscany Montalcino is really famous for the Brunello. And the Brunello is 100% Sangiovese Grosso. And a good friend of mine, he makes an absolutely great Brunello Reserve. And I told him, listen, if you can give me 1,000 liter, if I can make cigar, I can make also wine. But this was a joke after one bottle of wine. But you have to organize me that the winemaker, Dr. Paolo Vagaini from Siena, will help. Normally, this guy is like to have $50,000 for one blend. But he loves to smoke cigars. That was a lucky guy. And he was using there Sangiovese Grosso, Merlot, Cabernet, and jetzt kommt, what we like to say, a little bit Petit Verdot. Petit Verdot, you use always less than 10%, and it gives the wine the flavor. And also the Antullo gives the special taste to the red one. But in the DR also, every farmer has a special way how he treats an Antullo tobacco. For this reason, from this area, like from that area, Antullo has another treatment and another taste. Do you have other questions?
Okay, real quick, guys. You're going to start off with the Dalwhinnie. Both of the scotches we picked tonight are Highland scotches. We also have the Macallan. I picked these because I think they should go really good with the cigar. It's not their philosophy is more on the flavor of the cigar, not the strength.
It's not overpowering. Speaking of the other night, I'll tell you a funny story. My philosophy, you hear him say, drink less, but drink the best. Eat less, but eat the best. He's been riding with me this week, and I'm a Southern boy, and so I drink strong bourbon and eat a lot of fried food. And this poor guy, I doubt he's ever going to come work with me again. I mean, I think he's probably gained 10 pounds. He had a six pack. He had a six pack when he started, and now I see a little loose right there. You're working on this, my friend.
Exactly.
So we were in Baton Rouge the other night, and he loves red wine, right? So you talk about strong drink and not being overly strong. So he's telling us all about these beautiful wines. Look, I like wine. I appreciate it. I know Paul loves wine. I told him I want him to meet Paul soon because Paul's crazy about wine, and Paul never drink liquor with me. So I'm excited. I'm thinking, yeah, I'm drinking Booker's. It's a mere 129 proof. And so. And then he's opening, and first of all, we are rookies because there are women at the bar, and we don't realize it at the time, and I can't believe that we let this happen. They're putting their bar tab on his the whole time. We don't know, and we should have caught on when there's a lady at the bar, and she's like, "Oh, what are you drinking? Can I have some of that?" And he's like, he's happy. You want to share this? Sure. He's pouring. Give some more glasses. So I'm already 2 double shots of Booker's in. I'm like, sure, let's have some wine. Great, that's fantastic. So then he wasn't sloppy, but he's pretty well lit, and he's happy. Okay, he's in a happy place. We've had a lot of wine, so he's I want what you're having, and I said, let's get him some of my bourbon. He takes one sip and says, God, you're trying to kill me. What are you doing to me? And so that was. I don't think he's ever He's accustomed, in many of the Europeans that I've met, they're not, our market's unique, okay? Everything about the state, we're very unique. Our cars are bigger. Our portions, as you commented this, our portions of food are bigger. Our cigars, for God's sake, some of the other cigars that we make, the Asylum cigars, they're huge, so, it's about, and I appreciate and respect this because it is about flavor. And when I first began smoking cigars, interestingly enough, most people start with something mild. And I began smoking really, really strong cigars. And I met a gentleman, I don't know if you guys, you may know who he is, Jose Cejas, who he now makes Matilda cigars. But Jose I worked for Altadis previously. And he thought, I haven't told you this. He walks up to me at the show and he says, Jason, how many cigars are you smoking a day? So I puffed the chest out, smoking 7 or 8 cigars a day. He looked at me with disgust. I was like, oh shit, I said something wrong, I can't believe. He said, no, listen, he said, you have a good palate, but you're gonna burn it out, So I began to smoke more cigars that were mild, milder and had more flavor. It was all about the balance and the flavor. And I never would touch a milder cigar with a 10-foot pole prior to that. And I see their philosophy now, because you don't want to have to fight your way through a cigar. You know, you don't want to have to struggle to smoke a cigar. You know, sometimes we think it's funny to smoke the strongest cigar that we can find, and we're a man about. You spent good money on this quality product. Enjoy it. Nobody's gonna check your man card, you know, if you say this is too strong for me. So I respect the philosophy, and it's an honor for me to represent these brands in the States, because these are actually, it's such a different from what I'm used to be able to show someone that it's tremendous. And all the cigars that I sell have quality, but these cigars here, the balance and the complexity, it's not about strength, as he said. And it's a beautiful reflection, I think, of their philosophy to have over here. And it's not to say that they're better than us and we are better than them. I think it's beautiful that they share this with us here, because that he said they didn't need to sell this in the States. He was happy. Listen, this guy, he's crazy. You know, he's a man of many talents. You know, doing his thing in Europe. You know, like he said, he says he's too old to come over here. He lives younger than I do. He's outrunning me all weekend long. This guy's in shape. But he didn't have to bring it over here, but he wanted to share this passion that they have in their philosophy of tobacco over here, and I think it's a wonderful thing, and I appreciate you being here.
Well, I say also, I had one situation that somebody told me, I know a guy, he's absolutely great wine drinker. You have to give him just the wine for the tasting. Yeah, he drinks 4 bottles per day. Yeah. Okay, great. It's like somebody knows something about cigar. He smokes 8 cigars per day. I think always you have to give your body sometimes also space. I love to smoke cigars. If somebody says to me, how many cigars can I smoke that is healthy per day? It doesn't exist the rule. But you have to see you have to see always, give your body, like with alcohol, some space. You have that. I have a good friend of mine, and he was, 4 weeks ago, he was coming to my private club, and you're all invited in Olten, that's in the heart of Switzerland. And he was sitting there with a bad feeling, and saying, what's going on, my friend? I said, listen, I'm so pissed with you. I'm spending $4,500 with you cigars per month. I told him, listen, that's your fucking problem, not my problem. While he smokes every day 7 sticks Patoro Churchill for $33. And I say, listen, smoke. I like to have you the next 30 years like a customer. My way. The problem is, if you have the first heart attack, your doctor will say, quit to smoke. Yeah. But during the lunchtime, what he drinks, minimum 2 bottles of red wine. And at night, 1 bottle of red wine. Of course, if I make holidays, I will do that also. But once, you say 1 or 2 days, for example, I don't drink alcohol, you know? Yeah. That's important that you have some rules with yourself also. Of course, if I'm going playing golf, normally I say by myself, for 6 o'clock in the afternoon, I don't drink alcohol. And I'm playing golf, of course I'd smoke a cigar, have some few beers, but that's not every day. And I think that should be also our philosophy. Then you can smoke how long you want, but you know also, you feel your body. While my goal is not to make you addicted, my goal is to make you for people who love the beautiful taste. For this reason, believe me, this word which I'm saying now has 3 really true things behind that. Drink less, but the best. And believe me, I love to drink vodka. In Europe, we have a vodka 34 times distillated. They make from 700 liters, not 300 liters. But we are drinking together a bottle. We are fucking drunk, but the next morning... I have a depression for 2 days. Yes, I agree. But I have not a headache like that, you know what I mean? And that's important. It's also with quality wine. It's also with quality cigars. It's also with quality food. And I think that's my philosophy. Look what you eat, look what you drink, and look what you smoke. And so like that you will enjoy the life more and take time for you. That's also the thing is, I told Jason that I don't like to smoke by my alone. Makes me not happy. I like to share. I like to share beautiful feelings. Makes me not happy. Drink alone, no. That's also really dangerous, you know. If you have bad feelings, you have a depression, you begin to drink. That's the beginning of the end. I love to drink with my friends, to talk, to share, to have good feelings, or to talk nothing. That makes also a great feeling. Talk nothing, although you know we don't have to talk. We are enjoying together the beer and the cigar and looking on the sea. And that's for me also a part of the life. My life is so short. For this reason, you have to enjoy that. And again,
Every day.
a toast of the life. A toast
Every
of
day,
the
man. Thank you.
Thank you, good guys.